I'd like to introduce Dr. Hans Breiter, who is a professor of psychiatry and behavioral science at Northwestern University, an adjunct professor at Mass General. He's done a lot of research with Mass General and Harvard University. He's an author of a groundbreaking study that linked casual use of marijuana to major brain changes. Hans, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's great to see you. You're looking great.
Good to see you. Let's just talk, if we can, about what all of your research has found. And you say this has a massive effect on working memory. Can you explain to these young men why working memory is so important and how many cognitive functions it's involved in?
It's at the core of everything you do. So working memory relates to how you take one piece of information, connect it to the next piece of information, to a third piece of information. There may be three pieces of information you use in one sentence that you construct. Whether you're speaking, whether you're reading, or you're trying to put together kind of a negotiation point with an employer or with your mother or with your brother. Working memory is at the core of everything we do.
How much IQ erosion do you see or can you see in young men like this that are smoking dope every day and sometimes all day?
So when people talk about IQ, they're talking about two fundamental aspects. One is fluid intelligence, which is how well you can adapt your learning to novel circumstances and be innovative and creative. They also talk about crystallized intelligence, which continues to accrue during life and relates to just basically aggregating and better organizing the things you've learned for judgment and decision making. Now, between fluid and crystallized intelligence, fluid intelligence is heavily connected to working memory. And it's at the core of being able to be an artist. It's at the core of being able to feel gratitude and feel spiritual. It's at the core of everything you do. I cannot emphasize how serious a threat to fluid intelligence any decrement in working memory is.
And when you have young men that are using marijuana, certainly not casually as much as they are, their fluid intelligence is going to erode in a measurable, meaningful amount.
Absolutely, unambiguously. You see it also in the context of how well they do in school. We don't call it dope for nothing.
So what do you guys think about what you're hearing?
Honestly, everything he's saying makes sense.
What the doctor is saying to you is every time you smoke marijuana, you're doing brain damage. And so when I ask you, why are you at home with your mother when you're grown men here, this is a big part of that explanation. Your motivation is eroded, your initiative, all of these things that have to do with saying, look, we're grown up. Let's get out and start our lives. Dr. Breiter, once again, thank you for coming on here and delivering a clear message about something that is emotionally and psychologically addictive to millions of people. It's so important, and you have such credibility in this field because of your study and your work, and it had a profound effect when you've been on before, and I'm sure it will again. So thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, hey there, thanks so much for watching. And while I have you, do you have a story or a question for me? If so, I do want to hear from you. Click on the link in the description and tell me what's going on. You just might end up right here with me on the show. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Click that little red button below. You know you want to. What are you waiting for? Do it!